Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the DraftSeal number DS7535-270G. This is a fin pile insert in gray, and this is notably the 5/16 pile projection, and it has a .270 wide backer. This happens to be a 7-foot roll. Speaking of sizes, we have it listed in the site in lengths from 24-inch to 96-inch, basically random. The point of the matter is you can just order straight lengths. If you needed a 7-foot piece like this client, you can order a 7-foot piece. If you needed 250 feet, well, you can order 50 5-foot lengths and indicate in the comment field, ship this as a continuous roll, 250 feet. It's sold per foot, so it doesn't really matter which of those that you order, but order a even size, so to speak. Now let's check the dimensions of this item. That backer is .270, they say. And I put the caliper on this rigid vinyl or plastic backer. I'm not sure what it's made of. My caliper is telling me .274. It has a thickness of .033. Now, the 5/16 comes into play in terms of the projection of the pile, and obviously we're not going to get real accurate with a caliper, but I can kind of gauge that and tell you .343. Sure, it's going to be 5/16 projection. This is going to feature an inserted vinyl pile. That's here. And that helps with the integrity of the seal, a double fin, in fact. Helps the pile not fatigue prematurely. Pile will fold over and just get compressed, and that's probably why this client's replacing this material. It does fatigue with time. I'm also told by people in the know that insects do not like this pile. They don't like to touch it. And as a result, pile is incredibly effective, apparently, at keeping out things that are beyond eyesight to even be able to see. So that's a nice little important detail about pile as well. Now, where are you going to use this piece of equipment? Well, you will use it, well, it's intended to be used in the DraftSeal DS369A T-slot extrusion. It's a thin extruded piece of aluminum that, looks like this. Whatever. 7/16 wide, don't quote me, 7/16 wide, 3/16 thick. Your pile slides into that extrusion. People use, in that extrusion, piles of different projections, and we'll get to that in a moment. And when the item is installed in that T-slot extrusion, you get to a position where you can weather strip lots of different things. Obviously, you're going to see this installed in the T-slot extrusion in mortised into the edge of a wood door. That's a very common application. I've seen this installed routed into panels, into windows, into custom sorts of woodwork where they want to keep something sealed off that may be used in an exterior application just to apply some sort of barrier. I've also seen this used in atypical applications. You need some pile, and you're going to put two-sided tape on the back of this, and you're going to stick it onto, a really warped door in your apartment so that you can just try to mitigate that sound and transmission of heat, cold, and energy, of acoustical energy, things of that nature. Back to the extrusion, one fancy thing you can do if you install it in that DS369, you can take a router and mortise that extrusion into the edge of your door. Let's say a pair of doors. Here's a really neat application. Pair of doors. Route it into the edge of each door, but you route it deep. You take the extrusion, you purchase some low compression springs from an industrial hardware store. You're probably going to have to test, and then get some long number 6 flathead screws. Get all that apparatus put into the door, and as you tighten that screw, you'll draw the projection in, and as you loosen that screw, you'll draw the projection out. So over time, you can really tailor the meeting of the pile between each door, whereas with the system it's intended to be installed in, you know, you're just going to get what you get. I suppose you could pull out the 5/16 and stick in some 1/4 inch if you have a problem, but what really happens over time is your 2 doors that are plumb when they are installed, they do this. Exaggeratedly, they're going to do this. The ability to be able to tailor that projection is really nice because the doors will start hitting at the top, wearing, bumping. If they're fire-rated doors, which they certainly could be, not that you could necessarily use this on a fire-rated door because it's not listed, so let's back up. If it's a door that has to close and latch every time, like an exterior door for a security situation, maybe it's an entry to a daycare, yeah, those doors are going to need to latch every single time they're opened. You know, you can tailor it, so that's a neat way to go about using the material beyond the way DraftSeal intended to use it. We've talked about the dimensions. We've talked about the standard and atypical applications where you can use it, the different lengths you can buy it in. Now, a really interesting link for you to be able to review is the link to the product catalog. That's down below. That's going to show you not only the DS369 extrusion, how it's installed in the style of a door, in the bottom of a door. Use your imagination. Anywhere you can fit that extrusion that's 13/32 wide, you're going to be able to successfully install this material. Then scroll down to the bottom third of the page and you're going to see all of the related fin pile only, where your backer is going to stay the same, but then your projection is going to change, okay? Now, so the key with the extrusion, the DS369, make sure you've got a .270 wide backer and it's going to fit in. But you can see other backing widths that are there as well that may suit the application that you need to work on. You might have an aluminum storefront door and you have no idea whose doors they are. You just know that you need a certain projection, but you also have to really be sure that the width of this backer is going to be compatible with what you need to slide it into. So that's really handy to have that chart there. Finally, there is a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the DraftSeal products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. DraftSeal is a good company. I wish I had an opportunity to do more business with them, but I think because they are a Canadian company, and deal specifically in a relatively petite footprint of the commercial and residential market, you're going to find, I find that we don't do as much as I would like to. I would like to because they have some products that no one else has. If you're on the hunt for a if you're on the hunt for an unusual residential threshold that's got some aluminum and some wood on it, you know, adjustable top, and you can't find it anywhere, go to their catalog. That link to the manufacturer's page where you can review all the DraftSeal products we sell, a link to the manufacturer's website and their commercial and residential catalog, and then some back issues of that as well. Might be very helpful. They're a bit restrictive in terms of what sizes can be ordered, but they're also quite flexible and accommodating. You know, we've had people need a threshold. Well, they only sell it in 12-foot lengths. Okay, client, you have to buy it a 12-foot piece. He's like, well, gosh, that's a lot of threshold, but nobody else makes it. I'll take it. Can they cut it? They'll do it. There's a charge, but they'll do it. They'll cut it in half. They'll ship it out that way because then it can go package service and not have to go common carrier. So in that regard, DraftSeal can be very handy to have access to. Any questions on that DS, what are we making here? A DS7535 -270G fin with pile, seal, or any other DraftSeal product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.